We are roughly 3 months away from the start of the biggest event of the cricketing calendar, the ODI World Cup that takes place in India. While India would be front runners during the marquee event, there are still grey areas that need to be addressed. The wicket-keeper's dilemma is something that needs to be wrinkled out, as Rishabh Pant will not be available and there is too much doubt over KL Rahul's availability. Should India start giving more chances to Sanju Samson, as Ishan Kishan is untested in the middle order? And then at the top, you already have a well settled Rohit and Gill. So we'll discuss all of this and more. And to do that, we have none other than World Cup winning under 19 cricketer Shreevats Goswami joining us live on India.com Cricket Country. So welcome to the show, Shreevats.
Thank you, Ankit. Thank you.
So Shreevats, during the course of the session, I will address you as Shri. Is that okay with you?
No problem, Ankit. That's fine.
So we have roughly about 12 more games to 12 more ODIs to go ahead of the World Cup. There is a
Yeah,
problem with the wicket keeper. We are
yeah,
uncertain who's going to, finally don the gloves in the
yeah.
first 11. Rishabh Pant is out of the equation. KL Rahul is basically recovering from an injury, and Sanju
Hmm.
Samson is there. But would you actually back Sanju Samson now, or is it
Look,
too
Ankit,
late?
to be honest, there is an issue with the keeper. Obviously, we all know after Rishabh getting injured, there is a slot all of a sudden open there. But Rishabh also has not done so well in the ODIs, not so well he's done in the Test. So India were looking for a ODI keeper. Ishan Kishan did pretty well in T20, and but he always obviously I don't know how much he has batted for Jharkhand in domestic cricket at number five, number six, which is where India is looking for a keeper batsman. Sanju Samson does that for Kerala, and whatever games he's played for India, he's done it there as well. Not so successfully, and not he's not failed badly as well. So Sanju could be an option. And one more guy I think who's done really well in the IPL. I'm going to just take his name, but he's played T20, a different format other than ODI cricket. I think Jitesh Sharma. I think he's done really well in the IPL, and he's somebody. I mean, Indian batters, to come out and start hitting sixes for ball one is a rare ability which Jitesh Sharma has. Obviously, because in T20 you bat at number six, number seven, you don't have enough time. And I've played enough domestic cricket with Jitesh, and I know he is a versatile player. So you can try Jitesh as we were speaking before. It depends on how many games we have. We have 6 or 12 or 15, or how many India A games we play before that. How many domestic also the other trophy starts. That is also a 40 over game. If you want to play Vijay Hazare earlier, because World Cup is coming, so you get 7, 8, 9 games in Vijay Hazare there, so you can check whose form is better, whether it's Sanju, whether it's Ishan, whether it's Jitesh. But the problem with Ishan would only come if he can bat at number five or six. But he's a damn good player. But India have to see. I mean, there are three options as far as I see. Sanju also. The problem with Sanju, we all know. He's a damn good player. He looks very easy in the on the eyes, even in the IPL. But his only problem could be the temperament. But at number six, number seven, you don't need temperament as much as you need in the top order. So let's see. I mean, form would be a valid a point of argument who gets in. If there are 12 India games, there could be 10, 12 domestic games also, which adds up to at least 20, 22 games. So whoever does well should get the nod in.
Shri, had KL Rahul been fit right now, we wouldn't be having this discussion about Sanju Samson. But because KL Rahul is pretty uncertain, well, he's on his way to recovery already. And probably going by all the social media posts, he's recovering well. But
Yeah.
the question over here is KL Rahul has not played a lot of cricket over the last 3, 4 months. And whatever cricket he's played earlier in the year, he wasn't looking in very good touch or something. So, would you actually risk playing KL Rahul, somebody who's untested over the last 3 months, at a World Cup stage? Wouldn't that be kind of a little risky?
It would be. Honestly, it would be risky, but we have to check what the scenario with KL Rahul is. How long before he's going to get fit? Obviously, if he gets fit a week or 2 weeks before the World Cup, we cannot just push him straight into the World Cup without playing any practice game or any competitive cricket. I hope India doesn't do that in looking for quick fix. But KL, the good thing about KL Rahul is he's also opened in the white ball cricket, and down at number five,
He
number
can
six,
shuffle
done
around. He can
really
play
well.
in the middle order. Has
Yeah,
succeeded, got centuries in New Zealand. So yes, but
exactly.
at the moment, Sri,
Hmm.
I'm sure you will agree with me that Samsung looks to be the most viable option. Due to given his experience in the Indian conditions, and the World Cup is going to be played in India, the know-how of the venues that would surely come in handy. Don't you think so?
Yes, I mean Sanju Samsung is one of the option. I would not honestly straight away put him in playing 11 because he also hasn't played for India for a long time. He was doing well, and
But
all of a
you have
sudden,
12
where
matches over here, Shreet. You have 12 matches over here. Why don't you give him the confidence that, okay, we are going to play you for all the 12 matches and then we'll see where it goes?
yeah,
Or,
I
you
mean
know, what is
India,
happening? The case with Sanju Samsung over here, Shri, is last year when the T20 World Cup was happening, the guy was getting selected in the ODI squad
yeah, yeah,
and not in the T20I squad. And now
yeah,
the reverse is happening. Earlier in the year, we saw Samsung getting selected in the T20I squad in the year of the ODI World Cup, not getting picked for the ODI squad. But now there is an opening that has been created because Rishabh Pant is out of the equation. KL Rahul is also uncertain at this point in time. And Ishan Kishan, he's untested in the middle order. So at
yeah.
this current scenario, what do you have to say? It is the
Look, the
management who
first
should back this guy.
Yeah, the first point which you made, Ankit, is a very valid point. It's not just only the case of Samsung. Over the years, the selectors have made this mistake, if I can call it. Someone who's done well in one day, they put him in test match. Somebody who's done well in test, they put him in T20, and then all of a sudden
There
the
is
player
no
disappears.
clarity with the selection over here. Are you
Yeah,
understanding,
the
Sri?
exactly. This not only
Dinesh
been the
Karthik from
case of
nowhere mixed into the T20 side. Just after the World
exactly.
Cup, the guy is dropped. He becomes a commentator again. What is happening?
Exactly. The state I play for, I can have an immediate example. Mukesh Kumar, who is an excellent red ball bowler, and he's been picked in T20 and one days all of a sudden, which doesn't make sense. And then I hope India and West Indies, India is going to West Indies. I hope he gets picked in red ball cricket. But again, coming back to Sanju Samson, as you rightly said, yes, he should be tried. I think first give him one toe, give him the West Indies toe where India is playing six ODIs. If he doesn't do well, then you get in another player. If he does well, or even he does average or decent, let's continue his long run to the 12th game. But I again think domestic cricket will also be important. If Sanju is not playing, I think I'm pretty sure, as much as I have followed IPL and know the selectors are talking about Jitesh Sharma a lot. Suppose Sanju is playing for India against West Indies, and there are some matches
Sri,
India is
isn't
going
it a
on.
little too late to actually tap on Jitesh Sharma? Isn't it a little too late with the World Cup three
Uh,
months away?
I don't know. See, the fact that what could go for Jitesh Sharma is the unknown commodity. People have not seen him so much. I mean, in number five and six, you can only play like 15, 20 overs, and then you come and play that impact. That could be handy for Jitesh. But yes, if an experienced player is required, then you have to go for Sanju. Like I said, Sanju something is a talented player, but he has to work on his temperament. He plays brilliantly, and all of a sudden, one rash shot he gets out. So that is where he has to work it out. And plus, Sanju is somebody who needs 10, 12, 20 balls to get going, while Jitesh is not. So let's see. I mean, Sanju Samson, we all know deserves a chance again, and
You think the
maybe
selectors
India.
have been somewhere down the line a little unfair with handling Sanju Samsung? Because when you have a player in the side, you tell him, you give him the confidence, tell him that, dude, you know what, I'm going to back you for the next 5 games, no matter what. Even if you fail, you are going to be there in the 11, right? That communication has to happen. You have to give confidence to the player. Otherwise, the player is always afraid. He's like, I have to get those runs to keep my spot in the
Hmm.
side. How important do you think is the role of the selectors over here, Shri?
See, look,
Because you have seen things
so
from close proximity, right?
See, one point which I'll tell you, Ankit, whenever you play for India, there will always be pressure, and you would know there is not a lot of games you have to prove because there's so many players. There's so many behind your line waiting for you. It's not like you're playing for England or Australia, with all due respect, that there is not many coming behind. But in India, that's the problem of plenty. That is why I'm sure the selectors I don't know how the selectors are working towards it, whether they're having the individual conversation with the players during the games or after the series gets over. I'm not sure, but if I'm looking at an outsider, I don't see that much of a clarity. But yes, Sanju Samson should be given a fair run. But on the other hand, I'll tell you something. The list A record of Sanju Samson is not too great, having played 115, 20 odd list A cricket, which is a 50 over cricket. I think he's only got maybe 100 for Kerala. So that's not great. So that doesn't give selector enough confidence. Whenever Sanju can you hear me? Whenever
Right.
Sanju, can you see me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
whenever Sanju
absolutely.
Samson plays in the IPL, he plays really, really well. And then all of a sudden, the whole country goes, "Why not Sanju Samson?" So, bearing IPL, if you just see domestic record, then they'll be doubtful. But then there is no other option right now. I mean, he has to give it a go now, and let's see how he fares in this West Indies tour. Will be very important for him.
Okay, let's just break it up a little bit. I'll just, take your mind away from the wicketkeeper's dilemma for the moment and ask you something else. See, you've shared the dressing room with Virat Kohli, right? More than a
Yeah,
decade back, you shared the dressing room with Virat Kohli,
yeah,
and you guys had a triumphant run. You guys
yeah.
ended up winning the World Cup. So you basically seen Virat Kohli from close quarters, and
Yeah,
you've seen his growth over the last 15 years. Considering his
yeah,
fitness, Shri, considering his fitness, do you think he's going to play the 2027 ODI World Cup? Just tell
of
me yes,
course,
no, or maybe.
of course. It can't
Knowing the
even be. It
person,
has
knowing
to.
the
It
person.
has to be. Of course, nobody is as hungry as Virat Kohli. See, the problem with Virat Kohli is because he is so consistent, and we expect him to play every game. Apart from Virat, nobody is as consistent as him in Indian team. If you look at other players as well, I'm not going to name it. If you look at other players as well, world cricket, it's Virat Kohli, Steve Smith, Joe Root, Kane Williamson used to be, but now he's on and off. So these are the only players who are consistent, and it's not easy to be performing every game, every series, and every format, day in day out. So it takes a toll on your body. And look at Virat's body, man. I mean, he's been working out, he's training, he does everything, and he's passion for the game. We all know. But one thing I would like to obviously say, what differentiate Virat from other players is his hunger. He still wants to score runs. If पुराने ज़माने में when he used to start पुराने ज़माने में when he used to start playing cricket, uh, our coaches is always used to say that put a tag on your wicket. I think he's taken that too damn seriously. He doesn't get out. He doesn't like to get out at all, which is good. I mean, we talk about fearless cricket these days and strike rates and all these things, but if you score 6 runs all in one ball, that your strike rate is obviously 300, but you haven't contributed a lot towards the game. So that is where Virat's very handy.
Shri, you see, you've been a part of this IPL season. I mean, as a broadcaster, you were part of the broadcasting team,
Yeah,
so you've seen the IPL very closely. IPL
yeah,
has provided IPL has provided India talent for years now. Okay, so
yeah,
you watched IPL 2023 closely. Who are the guys
yeah.
who've caught your eye, and you think these guys can make it to the next level? You want me to take names? I can, but I want you to take names over here because India does not have a
Um,
finisher after MS Dhoni. India does not have a
yeah,
a
so,
legend kind of a finisher after MS Dhoni. Have you seen or spotted somebody who can actually take up that role and do it successfully in white ball cricket? Shri, over to you.
right. So yeah, so I'll just go on this finisher role. We'll just stick to this. I think MS Dhoni, keeper, batsman. We cannot get another MS Dhoni, obviously. So we should not look for an MS Dhoni. I think if you're looking for a slot of wicketkeeper, batsman, then you have to go with Jitesh Sharma. With limited opportunity, he's done well.
Don't
Obviously, he's
don't
not
restrict
scored the
yourself
bulk
to
of
just a
runs, which
wicketkeeper
is not
batsman.
required.
Shri. Do not restrict yourself to just
Yeah,
a
so
wicketkeeper batsman.
I know
A
I'm stu-
legend finisher, maybe a Michael Bevan
I know
types.
since you it's, yeah, so maybe there is Rinku Singh who's played for KKR and has done very very well. He could be your finisher. Um, Apart from that, I don't see a lot of finisher because Indian. Indian batters, especially, are not built to hit long sixes. They're more of timers of the ball, and they time the ball. We're not like Gales and Kyron Polars or David Millers who can come in and all of a sudden start hitting sixes. Hardik Pandya is one, obviously. So Hardik Pandya, we can look at Hardik Pandya as a finisher. He's since now he's starting to bat at number three for his franchisee. Maybe we should ask him to bat. He has finished games for India in the past. So Rinku Singh's youngsters are you. Rinku Singh is there. Jitesh Sharma is there, and Dhruv Jurel is one player who's played few games in the IPL, but too soon now he has to finish games in domestic cricket first to get into international cricket. So these are few names. Like I said, look, we always start comparing our players to international players, but we have to understand Indian players, especially batters, are not built to hit strong sixes. They are more of courage through the line or more timers of the ball, chipping here and there. Only because of MS Dhoni has spoiled us so much. He's strongly built, big arms, and comes in and hits sixes
He
whenever he
set the
wants to.
benchmark really high.
Yeah, so he set the benchmark so high that we expect like yeah, MS Dhoni when he retires we'll get second MS Dhoni, which doesn't happen. It takes time. So let's see.
Shri, one last question and then we wrap it up. See, I have to ask you this
Yeah.
question with this being the year of the ODI World Cup. Which team look favorites to win it? Name me four semi finalists. Come on.
This is not tough with the way world cricket is going. There are hardly few teams. The teams like Sri Lanka and West Indies are still fighting for qualifiers. Few years West Indies was the top team, but then, to be honest, in world cricket, there's hardly any team. It's an easy pick. India, obviously, England is playing amazing cricket, and their white ball team is amazing. That is how they have built their test team now. Australia and New Zealand. You just cannot forget New Zealand. Every year in the ICC tournament, they turn up semi-finalist, finalist. So that's three: India, England, New Zealand. South Africa has been disappointing every time. We expect so much from South Africa, but they, with the good team, they turn up. They just, I don't want to use that word again. They go towards
The
quarterfinal,
C word.
semi-final, and just come up. Yeah, so I think India, England, Australia, and New Zealand. These are my four semi-finalists. But my dark horse would be Pakistan. Asian conditions, they would be
Yeah, it's
coming
pretty
to India.
surprising. No subcontinental teams. One India and the rest were all, you know.
Look,
So
Sri Lanka is
Pakistan, they will be
fighting.
like dark horses, right? As according to you.
Pakistan would be because they have got amazing bowling lineup. Their batting, I'm not too sure about. It depends where Pakistan is playing in India. If they're playing at Eden Gardens, their bowling, fast bowling could really come in handy. If they're playing in a place like Chennai or something, I don't think so. There'll be much pace offered in Chepak Stadium, and how good their spinners are, we're not sure. So, and if they're again playing in Wankhede, Pakistan bowling lineup will be again handy coming in handy. So it depends who's playing where. That is also very important. So let's see. These are my four: India, Australia, England, and New Zealand.
Thank you so much for joining me in this session on India.com Cricket Country and throwing light on the very important wicket keeper's dilemma that is actually existing in the Indian team ahead
Yeah.
of the ODI World Cup. You also told us, who do you think are the four World Cup semi-finalists. Thank you for sharing your inputs. Uh, Thank you for joining us on India.com Cricket Country. Stay tuned to this website for all the latest
Thank you,
cricket
Ankit.
sports.
Thank you very much.